On September 3, 1814, during the War of 1812, Lieutenant Worsley, a British naval officer, captured the USS Scorpion in Lake Huron after it had sunk his ship, HMS Nancy. A year later, the ship, renamed the HMS Confiance, under command of Lieutenant Alexander Vidal, sat at anchor in the St. Clair River. When advised that several of the hands were missing, as well as a boat, he assumed they must have deserted to the American shore, probably at Grosse Pointe. 15 minutes later, a contingent of 8 sailors, all of them armed, rowed Vidal and an ensign to the American shore on the west bank of the St. Clair River. After landing and taking 2 of the sailors with them, Vidal and the ensign strode confidently up into the little town and found the deserters in a crowded tavern, where he calmly but loudly called out to the men, "You lads are absent without permission. You have absconded with a boat belonging to Her Royal Highness and supplies belonging to the Royal Navy. I order you to return forthwith to the Confiance under the guard of these sailors. There you will report to the first mate for confinement. Now move it, lads." By this time, every person in the place had turned his attention to the British naval officers and sailors in their uniforms and was jeering at them. "Hey, mate," one of the men seated nearby called out. "Just who in the Sam hell you think you are, coming here to our country, to our town, to our saloon? Just who are you to tell anyone here what to do? We may be losing the war, but we certainly will not lose this town." Another man yelled out, "He's right. Now bugger off, get out of here before we run you out of town." Then a man who had just run into the tavern called out, "Hey, that ship out in the river is one of ours. It's a Scorpion. It was captured just last year down by Niagara." Vidal shouted out defiantly, "That is Her Majesty's ship, the Confiance. I command that ship for our Queen and the British Navy. That ship is one of the spoils of war." As more of the mob started to shout out, a voice boomed out from the doors of the tavern, "All of you men, back off now. That's an order." Vidal turned to see an officer of the Mission militia had just entered the tavern, followed by several armed soldiers. The American officer spoke in a firm voice, "Lieutenant, my name is Captain McCullough. I think it best if the 2 of you and your men come with me." Before they left, the captain looked at one of the British sailors and continued, "All of you sailors must return to your ship with my message that the Admiral and this ensign have been detained and that someone will contact your ship in due order." After the 2 British officers had been held under close arrest at the American officers' quarters for a week, Captain McCullough came to get them and escorted them to the shore of the river where a boat was waiting. Before releasing them, the captain read from a piece of paper, "Lieutenant Vidal, you and your men are being released on your own recognizance and on your honor as a military officer. You are ordered to return herewith to Grosse Pointe, Michigan, 1 month from this date, on the 7th day of July of this year at the hour of 10 o'clock in the morning, when a hearing into the charges against you will be held." Vidal's trial, held in October 1815, found him guilty of riotously and wantonly assembling an armed party to seek deserters, with searching the home of one of the citizens, and of disturbing the peace of one of the inhabitants. Vidal was held and fined $778.85, but he would not be held too long. Intervention by U.S. President James Madison led to Vidal's return across the St. Clair a week later. The conviction stood, but the fine was never paid. More about Alexander Vidal in tomorrow's story.